Hello. I feel like I'm wearing a very fancy shirt, a very fancy. Here's the thing. I like these shirts, but then I do this, which is how I normally wear it, and then suddenly I'm freaking Italian. I'm freaking order me the guacamole. Wait, guacamole is not an Italian food. Either way, today is a day of judgment. And we are going to be browsing Reddit's Am I the A-hole? And we're going to be deciding once and for all, who is the A-hole? Okay, AITAH for refusing to push my obese cousin around in a wheelchair for a day. Yikes. This isn't really something I can speak on, but what I can do is read it and let us all draw our own conclusion. Let's just read it. Let's see how it is. My cousin is approaching 600 pounds and requires a mobility scooter, as even walking short distances is very painful for her. In July, she has an out-of-state wedding to attend, and I was asked to taxi her to and from the event, as I'm not currently employed, so my calendar is open. Are y'all familiar with your cousins? I feel like I have a lot of cousins, but I don't know them. You know what I mean? I'm always jealous of families that have like built-in neighborhood, friendships that are just like your cousin that's down the street. I don't have that. I'm alone. Moving on. Unfortunately, my car will not carry a mobility scooter, so my cousin will be required to use a wheelchair. The problem is that this event is being held in a public park, so big open space, there's ramps, there's grass. I can barely push her wheelchair on a paved surface, let alone across grass and dirt. I tried contacting a couple rental agencies in the area, so renting like a mobility scooter, the motorized one, but they would not lease scooters in this case because of the off-road use. Wow, that's really fun. How many miles you gonna put on that? I don't know, but we're gonna be at a park? No, we've had a case like you before. We've had many a client dirty up a scooter. Nary again. My aunt and uncle have also decided to loan me their truck, which is how my cousin normally gets around because I have a pretty shitty driving history. Okay, you're kind of scooting past some juicy details here. I kind of want to see what you got going on, huh? Have you too dirtied up a scooter in your day? Have you been a naughty little boy? I did look into renting a vehicle that could carry the scooter, but my cousin cannot afford to pay for that, and obviously with me being jobless, I can't either. The distance from parking to the event is about 40 yards. Let me think about that real quick. In football terms, 40 yards. Editor, can you put a football field here? 40 yards is about there. Okay, that's about that much. So 40 yards, good amount of walking. The distance from the parking to the event area is about 40 yards, which my cousin cannot handle walking. Jeez, that's a lot of weight. We can say that. A lot of weight to lug around? I'd say so, for sure. I get it. I wouldn't be, hey, if I had 600 pounds on me, I would not be able to walk. I'd be weak. I'd be weak. And I'd be skipping leg day. Actually, that's a lie. I did leg day yesterday, and my body is destroyed right now. About the best solution anyone's come up with is that the party has a flatbed they're using to tote supplies from the cars, but my cousin says she would feel humiliating having to be rolled in like that. My cousin is furious with me, saying I'm shaming her by saying I cannot push her, but I feel it's the honest truth. Like 100% of the thin wheels of the wheelchair are going to dig into the ground, and I am not strong enough to handle that. My cousin has done a lot for me in the past, so I do feel bad saying no, but I feel like I've looked into every option at this point. Am I the A for not being willing to just go and give it the college try? Also, please don't degrade my cousin. I know I can't stop you, but it's all been said before. Please and thank you. I like a little disclaimer at the end. Love that. This morning I got a call from my aunt who said my cousin was no longer going to be attending the Oh, it was a wedding? I thought it was just a party. I guess I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, she has an out-of-state wedding to attend. Wait, so you were asked to attend an out-of-state wedding for your cousin? Oh, I missed that. This morning I got a call from my aunt who said my cousin was no longer going to be attending the wedding. Sadly, my cousin was hostile towards the bride's mother, who had selected the venue, and so her invitation was retracted. I feel depressed because I know my cousin did really want to go, but I still don't think it was wrong to tell her I couldn't handle this. I really do appreciate all of you who supported me in my decision, as well as those of you who may have felt otherwise, but were still kind to me. Thank you all. Okay, so so my guess is that the cousin berated the bride's mother because the cousin wouldn't have been able to, be there. I wonder if she claimed it was like ableist or something to pick that venue. That's an interesting question, though. If you have a wedding on a beach, that's not really wheelchair friendly, is it? What happens then if you pick a venue that you think is beautiful and that means something to you and your spouse, but it's not accessible? That's something that I never would have considered if I didn't read this post. On the other hand, too, if you're inviting somebody who's, in a wheelchair or mobility scooter or something like that, then you probably wouldn't pick a venue like that, or you would make special accommodations, right? I don't know anything, actually. I'm just kind of floating around here. Let's read some of the comments. Not the asshole. You mentioned a truck that her own parents have. Where are they going to be on this weekend that they can't take her? I can't imagine 600 pounds even fits in your vehicle. Not sure how that would be managed either, but not your problem. Not the asshole. Honestly, you sound like you have searched for every possible solution. I don't know why your cousin is furious for you. That's the thing. If you've shown that you're trying to consider all the options and you've shown that you gave it a good old try to see, if there's any other options available to you, pushing 600 pounds around is not an easy feat, especially if it's going to be on grass. That's tough. 40 yards there and then 40 yards back. That's 80 yards. I don't know who this person is, but they're probably not capable to push around 600 pounds, plus the weight of the wheelchair. Also, we got to account for the wheelchair, I have an idea. You gotta count for the weight of the wheelchair. You gotta count for the weight of the wheelchair. You've gotta count for the weight of the wheelchair. Come on, everybody. You gotta count for the weight. Yeah, I'm going to move on now. AITAH for abandoning my parents at an island in the Caribbean so I could get back to our cruise in time. I graduated from high school back in December. As a gift, my parents got me a cruise. Nice, very nice gift. It was also for my 18th birthday. It was also a family vacation. We usually stay at all-inclusive resorts, but I have always wanted to go on a cruise. You usually stay on all-inclusive resorts? You usually on your normal family vacations that you take a lot? You usually stay at all-inclusive resorts? You are always on these all-inclusive resorts? Is that what you're saying? Your family goes on a lot of these? Is that what you're saying to me? You say you do this often, huh? All-inclusive resorts often, huh? I think someone goes on a lot of vacations. Because I can't think of how many vacations that I went on at 17, at 18. I told my parents it was different and that if we went on excursions, we had to follow the schedule no matter what. Well, it was a week-long cruise and they would not head back to the ship when I said it was time to go. They were busy shopping and bargaining with the locals. I finally said that I was heading back to the ship. My mom waved me off. Does that mean waving off? Does that mean like, you go ahead? What does waved off mean? Oh, you, huh? Oh, you go ahead. Back to the ship. You go on back to the ship now. I'm your mom. That was me just trying it out. They missed the departure by a lot, like 45 minutes. They got a hold of me through WhatsApp. They wanted to know why I didn't get the boat to wait for them. Get the boat to wait for you? Getting a cruise ship to wait up for you? That's not possible. They don't do that. I feel like that's like the first thing to know about massive ships, and like it's like asking an airplane to wait for you. You know what I'm saying? You've got all these passengers, potentially thousands of passengers on this cruise because you're going into a port. It's an international travel thing. You got to stick to the schedule. Why are you late by 45 minutes? What? I wanted to scream that they were not going to inconvenience 3,998 people because 2 could not understand what a schedule was. Have you ever considered that maybe they have time blindness? F in the chat for people with time blindness. It's like you wake up in the morning and your eyes are closed. And you're like, I don't know what time it is. And someone's like, it's 4:45. It's like, no, shut up. I still don't know what time it is. They ended up having to fly to the next port from there, and it was expensive. Surprise. They are pissed at me for leaving them behind. See, the thing is, like, I wouldn't be pissed for being left behind. I would understand them being mad that, they all agreed that they were probably going to be late, but they wanted to stick around. So let's, as a unit, as a family, stay together because I don't want my kid to, be on a cruise ship by themselves. But being mad that you think that the kid had the authority to keep a cruise ship docked on your behalf makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. I don't know what I was supposed to do. They literally told me that they knew what they were doing. Then the family should have communicated that the plan was to stay behind and fly to the next place. They should have been happy that you didn't stick behind with them, because if you did, that would have been another plane ticket they would have had to buy. Initially, I'm not going to lie to you, I was thinking to myself, you know what? They paid for everything, so I don't know, maybe you get off when they get off and you stay off when they're off. They've been paying for everything, so it's a family vacation. And you are now separate from your family. I initially thought that, but now the more that I'm reading, the more I'm just like, count for the weight of the wheelchair. I don't know what I was supposed to do. They literally told me that they knew what they were doing. I wish I'd never asked for this. They're making me miserable because I left without them. Someone's gonna learn. You know what? This is tough love coming from the kid. Tough love from the child, delivered straight to the parents' ears. Hopefully they learned the lesson that, you know what, man, sometimes you gotta stick to a schedule. Not the asshole. They seriously think the ship will delay for 45 minutes? Yeah, no. The docks and ship have a schedule to keep. They are adults and need to be responsible for getting back on time, which is something you have figured out in less than 6 months of being an adult. At least you don't have to go on any more vacations with them after this. You might have to, though, because they're paying for it. You don't have to. But if you want it to be another cruise, yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Your parents are in the wrong. I don't do cruises. Yeah, I don't do cruises anymore either because A, seasick, B, the ocean is scary. Anybody ever talk about how the ocean is kind of scary? Anybody ever bring up how the ocean is a little scary? I may be the first person to say this, but the ocean, kind of scary. Rabies. I'm a shark with rabies. Rabies. I will eat your babies. Yeah, I think not the asshole on this one. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter that life isn't high school? And if it was, she would be the loser now. What? My daughter is 24, Kelly, and my younger daughter is 23, Sarah. They both had very different high school experiences. Kelly was very social and in different sports. Sarah was very academic and had a small group of friends. Okay, so that means Sarah used to be like the dweeb, right? And Kelly used to be the popular one. Okay, let's just do that. Sarah the dweeb, Kelly the popular one. Moving on. Kelly got a sports scholarship for college, but soon dropped out of college after she failed multiple classes. She basically partied and did her sport and nothing else. Sarah went on to finish her degree and is doing well in life. Kelly has a jealousy issue. I remember when I struggled with jealousy. Really, Bandon? You didn't get a red underline when you're typing this up? Classic Bandicoot. Love Crash Bandicoot. Oh my god. CTR, Crash Team Racing. Can we show some Ooga Booga? Can we show a little bit of that? What have I got? Kelly has a jealousy issue, and I've talked to her BO4 about it. She's never happy when Sarah has an accomplishment. That's tough, man. Jealousy is a really interesting thing. It's only a waste of energy. If you're around somebody who's doing well, excellence is in the air. Identify it. Smell where it's coming from. Notice what they have done in their behavior to be successful, and notice what you're doing in your behavior that's making you jealous of them because you're not putting in the same effort or skill or whatever, or you know, whatever. I don't know. It's just it's wasted energy. Anyway, she's never happy when Sarah has an accomplishment, which doesn't make any sense. It's your sister. If they achieve greatness, you're likely to achieve greatness. It's just by proxy. You're the amalgam of the 5 people you hang around with. If you have successful people in your surroundings, you're probably going to be successful too. Jesus! Today, Sarah's told us that she's going on a cruise for her vacation this year. I hope she doesn't die. Kelly always wanted to go on a cruise and couldn't afford it with her waiter job. In the car, she blew up saying that Sarah was a loser in high school, so it isn't fair that she has all this now. She went on for a bit when I had enough. Yo, don't tear... People who tear down other people, you believe there's like a hierarchy? You feel entitled to be great when you haven't put in the work? That's not good. That is absolutely loser behavior to complain to your mom that your little sister who you're supposed to protect and love and like give a speech at their wedding, that's sad, man. This is just sad. I told her that life isn't like high school, and if it was, she's the loser now. This started an agreement, and she called me a bitch. You know what, man? I don't know. Calling your kid a loser, I think just to like snip at their ego a bit. I think the mother's intention here was to really cut this thing off at the legs, and not let it walk and take a life of its own. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes tough parenting is just being like, dude, you got to stop. It's not good to call your kid a loser. I get it, because that's going to probably like seed some resentment, clearly, not as if Kelly's not already resentful enough, but I'm sure I'm sure the mother has done every other tactic to be like, hey, you should focus on this. Hey, you'd probably have a better life if you did this. And at this point, she's just combating a bully right now. Kelly's being a bully. I would never let my kids bully each other. I say that now. But, I'm sure when they're 3 or 4, I'm just going to be like eating a bag of Cheetos watching Death Note. and they're in the back just slapping each other around. But either way, no, she needed this reality check. You need people in your life to tell you when you're being goofy, and this is one of those situations. Not the asshole. While it's never good to call your child a loser, bing bang, you were using the word she used for her sister and in a conditional manner, so I'll give that a pass. I think it's probably closer to the truth that Sarah was never a loser. She was just playing a different game. Ooh, that's a really good reframe right there. Come on! She did what she was interested in. She had close friends and probably never wanted to be popular. Research has shown that siblings intentionally differentiate themselves from one another. I had 5 siblings and we were all very different. My closest brother, only 14 months older, was on the chess club in high school. I could never beat him at home, so I never joined. In this case, since Kelly was older and liked sports, Sarah could never be as good as Kelly in sports, so she chose to focus on classwork. Kelly was a favorite with the coaches and Sarah was with the teachers. Yeah. Everybody gets their own lane. Nothing to be jealous about. Not the asshole. She's acting like a loser who peaked in high school and equates everything back to high school. You clearly put things into perspective in a way that she can understand, and she did not like it. Did she think being cool and good at a sport that she no longer plays would get her through life? Judging by the story in the post, I think it's a safe bet to say she did not think, period. Consequences meet actions. Actions meet consequences. Oh, this is insane. AITAH for selling my late wife's cake recipe to a bakery. My late wife passed 3 years ago. Our 2 kids were in their late 20s at the time. I'm sorry to hear that. That's really sad. It's been a hard few years, and it's even harder now that I live alone. She had a lovely dark chocolate cherry cake. Ooh. Okay, that immediately gave me a bias to where, like, I want to try it. Therefore, I'm now incentivized for you to sell it. If you just said she had a lovely cake recipe, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. But you said dark chocolate cherry cake? Come on now. That sounds really good. She had a lovely dark chocolate cherry cake. It was my favorite thing that she would make, and I always requested it for Father's Day. I'm a baker, and I've tried to remake it from her notes. The notes are not very clear, and it never turns out correct. It's depressing spending so much time in it being wrong. I've asked my 2 kids to try to make it, but they've refused to. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not a wizard, you know what I'm saying? I was told they're not going to figure out the recipe and to stop asking. I went to the local bakery and asked them to figure it out. They agreed as long as I gave them permission to sell the cake in the store. It didn't take them long to figure it out, and it's almost exactly the same to my wife's. That's really sweet. I bought one for Father's Day, and my kids were happy about the cake until I told them that the bakery did it. They're pissed that I would sell their mother's recipe to a bakery. Well, they weren't going to continue it. If you let the bakery figure it out, at the very least, do a trade to where the bakery gives you the recipe and they give you the instructions as like a trade. Yes, they can sell it, but also you're the only other person outside of the bakery that still has this recipe because it's your wife's recipe. Also, here's what I think. I bet there's a little Dr. Pepper in there. I bet there's a little bit. I bet there's a little bit of Dr. Pepper in there. I would eat me a lovely dark chocolate cherry cake with some Dr. Pepper in there. I want me a dark chocolate cake with some Dr. Pepper. This whole week they've been telling me how I'm a jerk for this and wondering if I'm really a jerk. I just wanted to eat her cake again. No, this is your wife. Yeah, it's the kid's mom. That's something, but this is your wife, dude. The kids will be able to go to that bakery and be like, hey, you want to try out my mom, on a date or something, and they'll be like, hey, you want to try my mom's secret recipe? She's responsible for that cake. Like, it's a legacy. It's a cool thing. And it's not going to be the exact same to the way that your mom made it because your mom made it. I think you're just mourning the mother in a unusual way. I'm not saying the kids are jerks, but it's not a good idea for them to take it out on the father because the dad is mourning too and he's living by himself. He just wants the dark chocolate cherry cake. And you know what? I want the dark chocolate cherry cake as well. Can I be super clear with you guys right now? Can I tell you a secret? I want that cake. I want that cake. I want it in my belly, but not in an empty stomach because sugar on an empty stomach for me makes me poop all day. Makes me poopy. I think of this as a way for your wife to live on in what she created to bring happiness to others. It's not like you did it for the money. That's right. Would the bakery consider using your wife's name as a part of the item name? I highly doubt it, and I will not ask them. They have already done so much for and gave me the recipe with clear instructions. There you go. So they gave you the recipe, so you're able to make this on your own too. That's really nice. I'm not going to bother them about the cake name. I'm just happy I can eat it again. That's what's up. What if this guy? Let's do the flip side of this. Maybe it's not a morning thing. Maybe he just really likes the cake. He just shows up. He's like, "Can you guys do this?" And they're like, "What is it?" And he's like, "This is a recipe." Where'd you get the recipe from? Oh, my late wife. That's all. Whoa, hey, yeah, we can do that. Sorry for your last cake. Do the cake. that she did. Do the cake that she did now. Not the asshole. It's funny. My mom died without leaving a complete recipe for one of my favorite dishes. The basic recipe was there, but she must have had a pinch of this, a dash of that in her head because the recipe never tastes like what my mom made. I totally get wanting to have that taste again. When your kids didn't want to try, you took matters into your own hands. Nothing wrong with that. And frankly, if your kids weren't ever going to make the cake, I'm not sure what their beef is about the bakery making it. That's what I'm saying, man. If the kids are like, I ain't going to do it, then what are you left with? I mean, you tried to figure it out. You tried. I think the intention matters here, man. You just want to eat that damn cake again. I get it. I want to eat your wife's cake too. One more, and then I'm going to eat. AITAH for taking away my brother's +1 and inviting his girlfriend myself. I kind of know I'm the asshole, but I need to know how bad it was. My brother is 29 and has been with Leah for about 2 years. We all like her. She's super nice. I'm getting married next April and sent an invite to my brother's apartment. We decided to send invites to households and not individuals. For example, our aunt received an invite for her family and not for each individual. Last Thursday, we met at my parents' place. It was just the core family because of some tax reasons, LOL. What? What does that mean? Oh, like you had to figure out taxes? Okay. While there, I asked my brother about Leah's dietary restrictions. I know that she's a vegetarian for health reasons and that she cannot have certain raw vegetables. I relate. I can't. Carrots sometimes. Carrots don't sit right with me. I really got to chew them bitches, okay? And also, kale. I don't like kale. Kale is lettuce with a spine and little bones, little fish bones. Who wants fish bones in their spinach? There you go, everybody. We made a new vegetable. It's spinach that sucks. He said that she wasn't going to come and that he was taking his girl best friend Amanda instead. Oopsie daisy. Oh, now their relationship is weird AF. Amanda has always been stringing my brother along, in my opinion. He always denies having feelings for her, but let's be real here. Amanda would date other guys, blow off my brother, and then when things were on the decline with her partners, she would be attached to him again. Her last boyfriend broke up with her right around the time my brother, his then girlfriend, Amanda, and her ex were supposed to travel to Spain. What did my idiot brother do? He went with Amanda alone because Amanda was uncomfortable with his ex-girlfriend. Obviously, he acted blindsided when his then girlfriend broke up with him. I didn't even say anything anymore because it's all so weird. Yeah, dude. If you're going to prioritize somebody, prioritize your girlfriend. Otherwise, you will get dumped. Unless he's super aware of this, which he's definitely aware of this. He's straight up being a chump right now. Chumperoni and cheese. So when he said that, I asked if Leah already had other plans, but my brother said that Amanda had asked if she could come because it would be an opportunity to finally see the old gang. We were in the same friend group in high school. I told him that I would have invited Amanda if I wanted her there. Amanda is mean and cold. Interesting. She always makes disparaging comments about other girls. At every event, around 1 hour in, she will make some sort of scene that either has her running away crying or sitting mad at the table, telling everyone to leave her alone, and then making a cryptic comment about something hurting her. I told my brother I was revoking his +1 and Amanda was not coming to our wedding. He accused me of being misogynistic and bigoted because I don't understand opposite sex friendships. Maybe she just sucks, which is BS. My husband has a female childhood best friend who is his best woman. I love her too, and she has been amazing. And she respects boundaries. She always includes me and made a huge effort when I started dating my fiance to integrate me into the friend group. Anyway, I said my decision was final. He could take it or leave it, but I would be inviting Leah myself because I like her. He screamed at me and told me to keep out of his business. I said to get rid of his weird feelings for Amanda. He is mad at me. My dad said, is none of our deal. What does that mean? My mom is furious with my brother. That is the correct emotion. So, AITAH. Yes, they live together, meaning the brother and his girlfriend. Very strange. Yeah, look, here's my thinking about this. Yes, it's your wedding. Return of the microphone. It's your wedding. You invite who you want. That's the whole thing about a wedding. You get to do whatever, you get to do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Your brother's being stupid. Your brother is being stupid. And brother, if you're watching this, why are you being so stupid? Huh? Male and female relationships, those are a thing. That's fine. That's all good. But if Amanda is a drag every time and disrespectful and makes everything about her, don't invite her. That is literally your business. That is your business. Your brother clearly wants to be with Amanda. This is all a mess. This is so silly. I think bottom line is you don't want Amanda at your wedding because she causes a scene and brings a negative energy. I think you're well within your right to say she's not allowed at the wedding. You can invite Leah yourself, but by the sound of your brother's behavior, who knows if they'll even still be together by then? Exactly. There's no way. Even if they are, I wouldn't count on her sticking around if he keeps prioritizing Amanda over her. I like Leah genuinely as a friend and would like her to be there. I should honestly have just invited her officially too. I should should have honestly just been able to foresee David would do this. Don't use his real name. He doesn't get to bring someone intentionally not invited to your wedding. Unfortunately, you can't control his obsession with Amanda, and he likely has to keep destroying relationships before he finally gets that he's prioritizing her over his relationships. Prioritizing the right people in your life takes a long time to learn sometimes. It took me a little while to learn, but then I figured it out, and look at me now, by myself in this studio space talking to the internet. The end of the post says Amanda saw it. I want to know what she said about it. I've always been curious how these people would react to reading how they are. She is mad. Hi, Amanda. Did he even tell Leah that she was invited? There might be a possibility that he's lying and the girlfriend didn't even know about the wedding. She did not, in fact, know. Uh-oh. You know what, man? Shout out to you for sticking your ground and inviting that girl yourself, because he needs to feel that pressure to make a decision on what he wants to do. And it's your wedding. You get to do that. You get to be in charge of the guest list. You know how many fights exist in the world over who has or has not been invited to a wedding list? A lot of them, I assume. I've never been married, but I've seen a lot of rom-coms. That's it for this one. Check out another one if you haven't. See ya. Outro time.